So again, welcome to today's webinar, which is going to be about project management and change management on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. My name is Michael Skytte, and today I have with me my colleague Johan Rosenquist, who's going to show us afterwards, well, after I've been talking a bit, showing us on how to actually create a project, do issue management, change management, and so on in the platform. The webinar today is the second one of a series of the webinars that we're going to present about the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. There will be coming other topics like digital transformation in general, how sales can utilize the 3DEXPERIENCE platform, and how production and manufacturing will be able to use it as well. So before going into Johan showing us what project management and change management is all about, I would like to talk a little bit about digital transformation and the 3DEXPERIENCE platform, because the 3DEXPERIENCE platform are solving some of the digital transformation challenges we do have as a business, do have as an engineer, do have as a project manager. So when it comes to digital transformation, many of us are saying, when is it actually coming? And for most of us, it's actually already here. Our tools are getting more intelligent. So in this case, the circular saw can detect when a human tries to touch the blade, and it will actually hit a brake, preventing major injuries on hands, arms, whatever. It could be our lawnmower that is mowing our lawn, can detect how high is our grass, how often do we need to, is the lawn has to be cut, and in which boundaries can it work within. Or for our cars, driving us to work without us interacting at all with it. The only thing that we need to do is entering our destination, and our car will find the smartest way to go there, interact with the traffic, brake when it's needed, speed up, blink, and whatever it's needed. So digital transformation is here. It's nothing that is coming, but it's something that's already here. And it's also in the way that we are interacting with each other. So we are exchanging information over Amazon. Amazon, when we're ordering things there, knows what we like to order. So next time we are on Amazon, it will give us information about products that we might like. We're interacting over Facebook, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, exchanging files over Dropbox, and so on. We're contributing to platforms like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, where people can like the stuff that we're doing, comment on it, and so on. But for businesses, for makers, where do we fit in here? What is the place where we can have a tool for us to use in our daily work, in our daily development of new products, and that kind. And this is where the 3DEXPERIENCE platform does fit into. So what do we do with it? We connect the present to the future by having the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. And when we're talking about 3DEXPERIENCE platform, it is not only for designers and engineers designing hardware, software, but it also can support scientists in the chemical, biological, material area. And it can even connect retail and marketing and downstream of your development with services, support chain, production, and so on. And it doesn't only support the way of working, but it also supports what you have today, what we call the model-based or the document-based of the exchanging information with CAD files, with Word documents, and so on, in a way to store them, in a way to make them searchable, control change management on them, configure products directly on the web, and so on. So it's actually not only for us in the company, but you can make it accessible for your customers, so you can interact with those. You can make it accessible for suppliers, so suppliers are getting the newest data. They can then come back with the information about what will be the best way of producing something based on the product they've seen. So you have a two-way communication. It makes business managers being able to analyze on the data in the platform in a nice dashboard way, overviewing everything, being able to predict trends in the market and so on. And of course, it does support our way of working. And how does it do that? It does that in 3 steps. We have the social collaboration services, which is a way of communicating with each other, exchanging ideas, exchanging development things, pictures, storing that in a central way so you can find it again, other people can search for it, and it's not saved only in an email, just in your computer. And that is something that is available for every SOLIDWORKS user on subscription. Will get free access or free license for each SOLIDWORKS they're having of the social collaboration services. Then we have the PLM collaboration services, which is how do we connect our current CAD system to the platform, making it possible to exchange data with the platform and our CAD system, with our Office package and the platform and so on, making sure that all the history is tracked, checking files in, checking files out, who is approving what, and so on. And everything of this is then based on roles, and those roles are based, every role does then contain a certain amount of apps. Those apps are, or those roles, again, those apps are based on the role that you're having on the platform. So for engineer, for mechanical engineer, the apps that you're using would be different than the apps that a project manager would have access to. When accessing the platform, the 3D compass is key. Here we have access to the different apps based on the role that we have on the platform, and the different apps are then accessed by the 4 coordinates of the compass. So on the northern part, the northern quadrant of the compass, we have the tools to collaborative, to exchange ideas, send messages to each other, and so on. On the eastern quadrant, we have the tools to analyze data in the system, predict the future, I would necessarily say, but a way to analyze the data, get an idea of where we are heading, and aligning that in the company. Now we have the 3D modeling apps where we can model, build virtual products, and of course the last one is the simulation apps where we can run virtual tests on our virtual products. We can optimize them. We can have a walkthrough through a building that we created, and so on. So with that compass, we can access all the necessary apps for the role that has been given us. When we're talking about the platform, the idea of the platform is that everyone can work together. Everybody is contributing to the platform, and they're doing that from the system they have available. That could be a smartphone, that could be a tablet, that could be a laptop from on the run, sitting in a cafe. it could be locally, it could be working from home. So it's everyone that allowed to the platform can contribute with whatever system they have available from whatever location they have. So it is cloud-based, and that everybody, as long as they have access to the cloud, can contribute with things. Instead of exchanging information between each other, using email, using Skype, you use the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. By using the platform, everything that you're doing will be stored in there and will be accessible from for everybody else, meaning history of a conversation about development of a certain thing can be found again. You can look into previous ideas to figure out, is that something we already have thought about in a previous development project? Is that something we should go for or actually discard already before the ideas goes to production and so on? This again eliminates the silos that we see in a typical organization setup, where we have the sales that is talking to sales, maybe they're talking a bit to marketing, then we have development that is developing within their silo, maybe talking a bit to production and manufacturing as a silo for itself, where we're not really exchanging information, but more or less sending information and expecting the different departments to take that up. So we have a digital connectivity. So if I put something into the platform, it will be accessible for everybody else, just as I hit enter to it. And they can utilize the information that I put in there. It, of course, will utilize all the functions. So engineers can talk to manufacturing, service can talk to engineers, and everything will be tracked. So everything can be refound and reused. And of course, the last one, all the data can be analyzed and reused and can be used for predicting the future, so to speak. So again, connecting us as the way we used to work to the platform makes the data more accessible for everybody else. When it comes to intelligent business planning, that way of working is changing as well. It is not the project managers that are setting up the project by themselves. The whole team can contribute, and they can contribute with the devices they have. So it, again, since it is a platform, it can be used for planning for everyone. So it's not only planning for bigger projects, it could be planning for a personal project that only I'm involved in. It is accessible for everyone, so everyone can contribute with, now I'm done with this sub part of the project, or I need more time for this, and it can be accessed from everywhere. Having that said, let's look into how that is done. And now I'll give I'll ask Johan to show us how that is done. So I'll give him the key.
Thank you, Michael. So let's see if it works. Yes, I'm going to illustrate how what Michael just described, how that could look, and the functionality on the platform. So what we are addressing here today is what we call team-based planning. What we already have on the platform is top-down planning, which is for experts, for project managers, people with deep expertise within their field. It could be also, if not using the 3DEXPERIENCE platform to manage your products, connected to a lot of static and manual work. Often used for phase gate type of projects with more complicated processes. And it could also be that if you're not leveraging the 3DEXPERIENCE platform to handle your top-down planning projects, there's digital discontinuity, which means that you are depending on several systems or several softwares to actually manage the project. So what we are going to look at today is how project planning in the 3DEXPERIENCE platform is for all users on all devices. As Michael said, the platform is accessible from whatever device you're on. So you can sit on an airport with your tablet and interact and plan and work in your projects as good as you can in your office. The project planner on the platform also helps you with automating and optimizing your projects. So as you do changes, the planner is constantly optimizing and updating so that the project can be performed in its best way. And it also makes it possible for us to work more agile, to continuously plan and execute. And Michael talked a little bit of social collaboration, where we have the possibility to easily interact with members both inside and outside our organization with 3D Swim and communities. And the project planning functionality fits very well into that, and where you can take the next step to go from social to more structured collaboration and to really start to set the boundaries for your project. So let's look at how this process can be performed in the platform. So the scenario is that we have a product that needs some changes. We need to do a design change due to the fact that we have had some problems with the product breaking. Excuse me. We also need to make some design changes in order to attract a new market. So let's start by looking at the platform then. So I go into my dashboard. Here I have the project planner. So first of all, I have a very good overview of the project KPIs. I can see how many tasks that are in progress, how many that are done, which are late, and so on. I can see the tasks in this Kanban view. I can also look at the actual Gantt schedule. So it's very easily to interact with the different tasks, intuitive. I can of course click them to see more detailed description and who's assigned and any attachment documents, 3D models, and so on. It's also very easy for me to change the time schedule, so I can move tasks around. In our case, we are going to create a new project. So we'll just start by adding an image to make it clear to which product this project is connected. So this is the sprinkler module which you would see later. And then we just add a title and this description of the project. So after that, it's time for us to start adding the actual tasks. And you can do that either in this task in the Kanban view, or I can do it directly in the Gantt, the schedule view. So we are going to add two tasks. The first one is the design change to make the base of the sprinkler stiffer. So we need to add a 3mm radius to the inner sharp corners of the base, and this is going to be performed during 10 days. And then the second task is to make the overall design change to attract a new market or a new market segment. It's the same here. It's very, very fast and intuitive to add the tasks. And we add a little bit more time for that. So that will be run during 20 days. So now I have created the different tasks. What I'm going to do now is just to add a milestone that is connecting to the finishing of the first task. So let's add that and then just move it in the schedule. So we are working much with sort of say drag and drop. And if I then click this it's possible to make other adjustments. So I set it to in progress and I save it. What I'm going to do now is to assign myself as project manager for the project and set the whole project also to in progress to start it off. Of course, I could also assign someone else as project manager, possibly someone within my organization, but it could also be an external resource. So let's start off the project. So now I'm finished with the planning, and by starting off the project, there's also automatically a start milestone created, as you can see. The next step now is to create a change action. The change action is going to control and govern the change of the actual 3D model. I will also, to these tasks, assign that change action. I will, or attach. I will attach a 3D markup which displays what is going to be changed, and I will also attach the actual 3D model. So for the one person that is going to make this change, they can go into this task and they have everything that is needed in order to understand what I'm going to do and in order to actually perform the change. So next step now, creating a change action. So we have a very flexible user interface in the platform. You can build these dashboards as you wish. I have here a tab called Change Management where I have the possibility to create these change actions. So I give the change action a title, and the description is the same change that we have talked about earlier, 3 millimeter radius. I can set the severity and also a due date. So I think it's important to explain that everything that you see in this demonstration is performed online, except for the part that is taking place in SOLIDWORKS. So the project planning and the change action, I create that in my web browser. I don't need to install any software. It's directly in the browser, accessible through mobile from anywhere. So now I am assigning or setting assignees and reviewers. For the demonstration purpose, that's me, but that could of course be someone else in the company as well. So this step, here we're going to add the actual 3D models. But in order for me to clearly see which models that are affected, I will just analyze the structure before. So I search for my model. I add it to the Structure Explorer to visualize the actual structure. I can also directly view the 3D model. So we have the top assembly, we have the sub-assembly base, and then we have the component base. So these three are going to be changed. It's easy for me to just drag and drop into the actual change action. And you can see that they have been added, they are released, and they are in revision B1. So now I can go in further detail and say what is going to happen in this change action. Yeah, we are going to create a new revision, and I can add further details also to why this change is needed. Okay, so in the tab Realize Changes, we don't have anything yet. There will be. We'll come back to that. I will add this 3D markup that I talked about earlier also to the change action. You will see more in detail what this 3D markup is in a later stage. But that is something that describes the change, a markup on the actual 3D model. So now I'm setting the change action to in work. I'm going back to the project planner, into the task, and then I'm going to attach both the 3D markup, the change action, and also as a deliverable attach the 3D model. So this is very powerful. Here the task is carrying all the necessary information in order for us to perform this change. The search functionality is included as well. So I have the same powerful search and filtering capabilities as I have everywhere else in the platform. So I search for change actions that are connected only to my project. I can see that I have the Teambased change action. It's in work. It's me that I'm responsible for it. And then, as I said, the last step is just to add the actual 3D model as a deliverable. So for the one person that is going to perform this change, they have everything they need within this particular task. Everything is connected to it. So I add the sprinkler model in its latest revision. We can see we have a revision C1. That revision is now created by the change action. So when I set the change action to status in work, it should also change the status of the connected 3D models. So let's go back into the change management tab and look at it. Now on the tab Realize Changes, you can see that I have the latest revision, C1, and all the models are in work. So they are, it's possible for us to work on them and save the changes. Okay, so next step, it's for me or some of my colleagues to perform the change in SolidWorks. So let's look at that. I, as an engineer, I don't necessarily need to have access to the project planner widget. I can have this collaborative task widget. I see the task, Teambased. I can also access the markup file. I drag it into the 3D view and I can easily see that, okay, it's to this base we're going to add the 3mm radius and to those inner sharp corners. So you can make it very visual and very clear what type of changes you want to be performed. We can add to this 3D markup several different slides that shows off the change. So as an engineer, I set the task to in progress. We're moving into SolidWorks, and in order for me to perform and save the changes, I need to take ownership of the models. So I reserve them. I have access to the whole structure directly from SolidWorks. It looks like I have access to the same tools as I do in the platform. So we open the model. It's a very small, easy change. We just add the fillet and we go back into the main assembly again. So in order for us to really capture the changes in the change action, we need to work under the change action. So I connect this model to the change action easily directly from within SolidWorks. So you can see the hard hat turned yellow. So now we're working under this change action. And we now need to save the changes into the platform. So now that's updated. We have the latest changes updated to the platform. So now I can change the maturity. So in order for us to perform or to finalize the work with the change action, I need to freeze the design. So no one else can do any changes. So this is also easily done directly from within SolidWorks. I set those models to freeze. And as you see, I have the same user interface directly from within SolidWorks. I can access my collaborative tasks. I can go into the Teambased task and I can say that now this work is done directly from within SolidWorks. So if I work as an engineer or a designer, I don't need to work directly in the platform. I can have the same possibilities directly from within SolidWorks. I can also access this change action. And now I need to notify the reviewers that this work is performed. So I set the change action to in approval. All the persons that are assigned as reviewers will get a notification that now you need to approve or reject this change. So my work as a designer is done. The last step is for the project responsible, engineering manager, or whoever it is to review and approve the change. So we're back in the web browser on the platform. I can here go into the change action. Of course, I can search for change actions that are just in approval, that are assigned to me as a reviewer, and so on. I go in under the tab Realize Changes. I can therefrom drag and drop the 3D model into 3D Play or to the Product Structure Explorer. To maybe the change could be that we should add components or change the structure, so I need to investigate both the structure and the actual change of the geometry in the 3D model. So I have everything needed here in order to interrogate and investigate the changes that the engineer has performed. So everything looks good. So of course I will approve this. And as I said, every changes that is then tracked by this change action is logged. So it's very clear and easy to go back and to see what has been done. So I approve the change. It's now complete, and what's interesting here is that you see that the maturity changes to released. The revisions cost the same as before, the new C1, but the files are not now released due to the fact that I approved the change action. So now I could, of course, carry on planning my project and go back into the project planner and further detail. But I hope that this gives a good insight to the capabilities that we have on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform to plan and execute projects and also handle change in a very effective way. So as I said, the 3DEXPERIENCE platform is very dynamic from a user interface perspective. The dashboards that you see now and the different tabs, those are fully customizable. You can add whatever functionality you need in order to perform your work. So I, as an engineer, I maybe have a dashboard containing different functionalities, and as Michael said, the project manager has a different dashboard. So in the 3DEXPERIENCE platform, we handle the whole change process from finding and communicating issues to creating the actual and governing the actual change. So we can, with the functionality that we have presented here today, clearly show where we have issues directly on the 3D model with notifications. We can attach that then to a task or a change action. We can track the issue and manage the issue and connect that then to a change action. So this is a very flexible and dynamic process. You can do one or several steps of it, but we have every possibility to utilize the whole change process within the platform from issue to action. So that was what I had to present.
Thank you, Johan. So before I go into the questions, I just want to talk about the path, the PLM collaboration services. The path is not that you need to do everything at once, but you can actually grow with the product, with the platform as your company grows, or as the speed you have time to implement things in the company. It is not that you have to go full PLM in the beginning. You can actually start with what we call the PLM collaboration services, where you can connect your CAD system to the platform and exchanging files that way, making it a bit of a PDM system. Then you can connect the change management part, starting to get it more into a PLM system, and then afterwards connecting sales, production, after sales, and so on. And the last one, we actually are having some hands-ons on the project planner and how to do change management as well. The first one will be held the 7th of May in Roskilde, and the second one will be held the 9th of May in Värnamo in Sweden. So if you have the time, if you want to look further into what can change management, what can the project management with the project planner do for you, please sign up for the hands-ons. It is a half-day event where we are going a bit more into depth with the project planner, with the change management, and you will get time to work on the platform by yourself and finding out for yourself how easy it is actually to use. With that, I would like to go to the questions. If you have some, please write them into the questions window. I can see there are some already in here. It's not easy to read. Let me look here. Question, can this replace PDM, SolidWorks PDM Professional? Johan, do you have an answer on that, or should I give that? Maybe I should do it then. Johan doesn't.
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, the 3DEXPERIENCE platform offers some of the capabilities for data management also, and also capabilities to expand the scope of data management.
Exactly. It makes your data from the engineering part available for the rest of the company. Like I said in the beginning, breaking down the conventional silos that we have in the companies where more or less only what we are giving from one silo to the next one will be used. So as an engineer, you normally would create a PDF of your drawing, send that to the next part, and nobody will use the 3D part for anything. Then I might have a question for you, Han. How do you see the difference in this way of working compared to the conventional way of working?
I would say the benefits, the biggest benefit of the platform is, so to say, availability, the fact that I have everything that I need in order for me to perform my work wherever I am. Also, the powerful capabilities of searching and visualizing data in a way that we really haven't seen before.
Super. I can't see any more questions. So if you have one, please enter it into the questions box. It doesn't seem to come more in. So for you that have time and are located in an area where you can participate, please sign up for our hands-ons, and Johan and I and some of our other colleagues will help you go through some of the things you've seen today, but in this case you will do it by your own. So with that, Johan and I would like to say thank you for your participation in our webinar. I hope you found the topic interesting. And again, we will have several other webinars around the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. So please keep your eyes open. Look into your email inbox for invites for the next ones. That I would like to say thank you, and have a pleasant day.